All right, all good? Okay. Great win, man. Great win. This win was significant for so many reasons. First for us, our seniors, and what this senior class has meant to us, whether it's a guy that's been here for a year, a guy that's been here for a few years, somebody that went through, what Grant Calcaterra did this week. I mean, these guys have all had a huge impact on this program, and what they got an opportunity to do in the next couple of weeks is very special, rare, even at a place like this. And so winning this last one for those guys, and leaving Owen Field as a winner, was extremely important to this team. I thought we really dominated the football game. I mean, stats would say that. Love how we ran the football. Really was proud of the way we played defensively all night. I mean, allowing anybody in this league to have 200 yards of offense, and then just making the clutch stops that we made time after time there in the second half was awesome. Obviously not getting a couple of the fourth downs and the turnovers. I mean, that was the equalizer. And, and that was, maybe the one kind of negative part of an otherwise pretty dominant performance. And so some mistakes that we got to continue to clean up. We talked in there, we're still, in so many ways a young or kind of / new team, and we keep kind of finding ways to get better. I thought we did some things better tonight against a really good TCU team, some things that hadn't been done to them on both sides of the ball all year. We've obviously got to do a better job in the turnover department. I think that goes without saying, and really all three of the turnovers were, on positive drives, the one in the first half, and then obviously the two down there low there at the end of the game. And so, but you got to do better with those. That's part of the game. It's a great equalizer, and something that we got to continue to find a way to do a better job of putting our guys in position. And then certainly, the hanging on to the football, the ball security part has got to get better if we want to accomplish what we think we can. So we are thrilled about the win. TCU's hard to beat. They're always hard to beat. And, what it means, the 10th win, get to play in the Big 12 championship game here in a couple of weeks, which is significant, obviously. It's a big deal. Winning 10 games, getting to play for your conference championship is huge. Right now, it's all our focus is going to go towards, to Bedlam, to Oklahoma State, going into Stillwater with a lot of goals intact, man, and it's exciting. And I still know our best ball's out there, and our team feels like that too, and we're gaining on it, and we're going to go work our tails off and try to put it all together.
You go for 366 tonight rushing. Talk about, your decision in the second half. You decided to go with the running game, and
yeah, it didn't really – we just honestly didn't need to throw it that much. I mean, honestly, we ran it so well. And, some of it had to do with what TCU was doing. Some of it just had to do with, man, we were just running it great. I mean, Jalen was running it great. Ramondre, Kennedy. Thought our offensive line was as consistent with their job and as probably as physical as we've been all year. And, yeah, I mean, the running game was so good. I mean, you just felt like, man, we're getting chunk plays out of it. We're moving the ball. We're controlling the clock. And the one disappointing thing in the run game is not getting paid off, with the points that we probably should have gotten, obviously. And so, you got to do better. That's the name of the game. But very encouraged. And being able to run the ball well this time of the year matters. And probably our best rushing performance of the year. And that's exciting, certainly going forward into these next challenges.
And it gets to 21-0, and you guys have little resistance up to that point. How confident were you, knowing the last 3 weeks have turned like that, have been so crazy?
You just play. I mean, you're not like when we get up 21-0, I start thinking about the end of the game or where we're at. It's just trying to stop them the next defensive series. It's trying to score the next offensive series. There was a lot of adjustments in this game. Certainly was a lot with Coach Patterson, like there has been every single time we've ever played them. It was just there was a lot of back and forth. They did a lot of things different that we had to continue to adjust to, and give them credit. I mean, they made some great plays. Stripping Jalen down there. Guy kind of undercut CD on a route. Thought CD maybe slipped a little bit on the route down there in the red zone, but they made some awesome competitive plays. they're a good team. I mean, look and see how people move the ball against them this year. I mean, they're always hard to do it against, and this one's no different. And at the end of the day, you got to find a way to win, and we did it.
Lincoln, when you say ball security, I mean that falls directly to Jalen. He's had the picks and he had the fumble. Like you just mentioned, them stripping him. Is that? I know you're going to say you're not concerned or alarmed, but he's got to. There comes a point where he's got to be better.
No, I'm not going to say I'm not. We don't have to do better with that. I mean, a guy that's handling the ball, making as many decisions as he makes, you don't want to obviously have the one down there in the red zone. I'll be interested to see the interception because I did feel like that we slipped a little bit on the route. I'll be interested to see how much of it was that and how much of it was maybe the decision to throw. I didn't have a great vantage point of it. So other than that, he was pretty clean through the game. Missed a couple of throws. One of the first games that he just missed a few throws down the field that could have really busted the thing open, and and they were all just, long by just a tad bit. So he was just a little bit off on some of the deep balls. Ran the ball extremely well. He's got to do a better job putting it away. I mean, this one was different. It was a breakaway, which can be one of the toughest ones because so many guys don't want to run with it tight in that scenario because they feel like it does slow them down a little bit, and just didn't see the guy coming up on him. I think he thought he was cruising in, and so we need him to do better with it. He's doing a ton of things well. I thought his understanding of the run game and then how we wanted to attack them in the throw game was he did some really good things. He didn't get paid off for all of them, but I could see some of the progress in him taking and understanding what we want him to do. So new challenges each week. That's part of how this thing goes, and we're getting better. And he's doing a great job and leading us to victories, and hopefully he can lead us to a few more.
We haven't talked to you, obviously, since Grant's news. I mean, is that something you thought was going to be an outcome for a while? Or is it still trying to make it work?
We knew it was a possibility after he had the latest concussion. But there was patience. I mean, we knew at best, I say at best, for him to get back on the field, we knew it was going to at least take several weeks to even get to that point to making that decision. So it wasn't rushed. And he did a great job consulting with our medical team, who's one of the top experts in the country on it. He went to got a couple of different outside opinions from very credible people in the field. Had a lot of time to think about it. Wasn't something that was rushed, and certainly involved medical personnel, his family, and he made the right decision. I mean, he did, and it stinks because the passion that kid has for the game, and certainly there was a very potential future for him in the game, obviously here and potentially professionally as well. But there's more to it than this game, and I think everybody totally got it. Everybody supports him 1,000%. We're sick for him, but also happy that he was able to get to a place to make the right decision.
Lincoln, there's so much talk and question about what you guys are defensively. When you look at that second half and Jalen's turnover and the turnover on downs and the way they responded, is that something different that you see from this defense that you haven't seen in the past?
Yeah, there's some really incredible resilience. I mean, you look at the stats, say you play pretty good defensively, say you play really good. But they don't even tell the whole story. The different adversities that came up defensively and how we were able to not only make a lot of stops, but make them in such key times. And I loved our defensive guys to me, and I've always thought the best defensives have this. They were even excited after we would have a turnover or didn't get on fourth down. Like, they were excited to just get back on the field. It wasn't like, oh, the offense, didn't score, or they turned it over, they didn't get it on fourth down. Sometimes you see defenses go out there like kind of taking the mood of, oh man, it was unsuccessful. Like, our guys were chomping at the bit, like they wanted to be back out there. They're probably pissed right now that they only got to play 45 snaps, which is awesome. I mean, that is, you guys got tired of me saying mentality. That's mentality right there.
About Caleb Kelly and just where you are with what his future is with the team.
Yeah, no, excited to get him back on the field. We've kind of tried to balance, his health, getting him to a point where we thought he would be, just physically ready to play and help and play at a high level, and then also certainly keeping our options open with the 4-game red shirt. So obviously played him. Excited to get him in there and we'll just kind of week to week continue to reevaluate both his performance and kind of where he stands on the 4-game deal.
Can you talk about the Kennedy Brooks where it looks like basically the whole stadium thought it was targeting and you called timeout?
Yeah.
You got pretty heated with the officials. Did you get to see it like on the replay?
I didn't see the replay. I was on our sideline down there, and I had a really, really good vantage point. We'll it's kind of like CDs a couple of weeks ago. We'll just talk to the league and see what their opinion was on it, but it looked fairly clear-cut. But, they look at them, they review them, and obviously we gave them plenty of time. And I'm sure if they thought it was, the difference this year is all aspects of targeting have to be there. And so we'll see it, but it certainly looked fairly suspicious.
We're running the ball so well in the second half, but that 4th and 1, I mean, that's a gutsy decision, even in that situation when you are running it well.
Yeah.
Walk us through that decision.
Yeah, I just felt like we were running it well. I felt like it was one of those moments where, you can either sit back and give them the ball back, and I certainly obviously had a lot of confidence defensively at that point, but also had confidence with the way we're running it, and I just felt like this is a chance where we can go win it right here. Like, we get 1 yard, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to not win this game. And, so I had confidence in it. If I had the chance to do it again, I'd do it again.
Lincoln, this is the second straight week.
Maybe call a different play, but do it again.
Your defense is running off the field because they're getting picks late in the game. That's got to give you a good feeling about it.
Yeah. No, yeah, our turnovers have come at really, really key times. And, it's exciting. And what a phenomenal play it was, critical play. We were close to several others, got our hands on a lot of balls, several tipped right there. Thought coverage was very good again tonight. I'm really proud of those guys.
We'll ask you a lot more about OSU Monday, but just for tonight's sake, how good a running back are you guys up against next week?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's an NFL running back. He's fantastic. We recruited him some, like a lot of people did, and the way he's really developed, man. He's changed his body there, and he's, kind of coming out of high school. He was a really fast guy that was a really good player, but was raw in some areas. And the Oklahoma State guys, and give Chuba a ton of credit. They've really developed him. He's become a complete player. He's as good an individual player as we'll play all year.
Lincoln, I don't know if you know or not that Oregon lost tonight. I know you don't like addressing all that stuff, but
Get ready to play Oklahoma State. Can't wait.
is it good maybe to have a little excitement for the fans that they can see something there? Because it does seem like it's been kind of difficult for everybody, since the Kansas State loss. Would you like to see, some more excitement in the fan base? You talked about the crowd.
I just hope they'd be excited about the guts of this team and how this team plays together and fights through stuff, and how we're playing defensively and how these seniors have played. And I'd hope we could get excited about being 10-1 and a pretty damn good football team. So I'll leave all that other stuff up to them. We're just going to try to keep winning.
What did you think overall of the front seven?
Man, we were really dominant early. We were able to get to the quarterback quite a bit. Did a pretty nice job in the run game. I thought we caused a lot of havoc through the game consistently there. Some just awesome effort plays, especially on some of those option plays after they got us on the one. We were able to run down. I thought we finished some plays very physically. Certainly, you hold people to what we did, it was probably a pretty dominant performance, and it certainly felt like that from the front.
Lincoln, last week you guys had 42 minutes possession time. Tonight, 39 minutes.
Yeah.
That's way more than you typically had since
Yeah.
you've been here. Has this been strange at all for you to call a game like that? Is it different?
No, it reminds me honestly of some of the games we had earlier in our time here. When we, had a lot of games where we were able to close out and run the ball, a bunch at key times. And this time of year, that's always big. So it's been huge, obviously, in these last 2 wins. And you always got to call them. There's always different scenarios. You got to be able to adapt to it. So no, it doesn't feel strange. It feels good when you can control it like that. It makes a difference for our football team.
Lincoln, you talked earlier about the decision to play Caleb Kelly tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of the way he played when he was out there?
Looked active, looked aggressive, looked healthy. I thought gave our team a little bit of a spark just seeing him back out there. I mean, that was out there on the same field during the spring practice when he did hurt his knee, and everybody kind of felt it with him at that time and seen the rehab. And I mean, that happens in spring, and in your mind you kind of think, oh, he's done for the season, and to see him fight back like he has, and just the way he's carried himself through it. It hasn't been poor me. He's done the work. He's also continued to be a very active member of this team. Some guys, when they get injured, go into a little bit of a shell, and he's continued to make an impact even when he couldn't be on the field. And so I know our guys appreciate it, and he looked like Caleb to me.
Coming into tonight, did you anticipate trying to get him in relatively
We
early?
did, yeah. We kind of, as he practiced through the week, we thought this would be an opportune time to get him going, so we planned on playing him, and it was good to see him out there.
I think I know TCU's 24th against the run coming into this game, giving up like 3.6, 3.7 yards of rush. Jalen and Kennedy both had 6.0 plus. What does that say kind of about this offensive line and how they've grown up?
Yeah, no, it's one of our better games. It definitely was. They're playing better, more consistent. Some of that continuity's taken hold. I thought we played very physical. The guys ran hard. I mean, yeah, you can run like that at the end of the season in these big games like this. When you can run the ball at 360 yards plus, you're going to win a lot of games. And so it was probably as dominant of a running performance we've had this year. And again, that bodes extremely well for what's coming up.
We got to wrap up. Anything else?
What's made the quarterback run game against you guys so tough to stop?
Jalen's a great runner. Line's playing better. I think we're continuing to evolve and find out kind of what the best version of us is. And yeah, it's tough because we've got some good receivers, and we can still we've thrown the ball around pretty decent this year, and so it's just kind of another element that people have to defend. And like I said, I think our understanding of it is getting better. We definitely took some positive steps on that. It was probably more effective tonight than it's been all year.
On the flip side of that, defensively, what Max and the quarterbacks last 3 weeks have had success running the football against you guys at the quarterback position. What's been the challenge with that?
Well, I mean, you play athletic quarterbacks, in this league every single week. This ain't like a lot of leagues where it's one on, one off. There's every quarterback that's a starter in this league right now is a good athlete, and we knew that with Max. We knew they were going to scheme it up. It's hard to stop quarterback run game. I mean, it is. It gives you one more guy in the count. It's one more blocker they have. And when you do have, again, kind of like them, when you've got guys like Rager and those guys out there on the edge, where do you put everybody? And so, honestly, other than the 62-yard run, which you can't say that, we did a decent job on him in the run game. And but he's good. He's athletic, and he can make you pay if you miss a gap like we did on the long run.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Luke.